Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we talk about anything political, whether it's a dog catcher, your city council, your county commissioner, state and local, and international and national. We talk about it all. So we got a good show for you tonight. Unfortunately, Lloyd can't make it tonight. He's feeling a little under the weather. Hopefully, he gets well soon so he could be, for his trip down to Florida at the South Florida Drone Meetup. So let's get this show going. Let's welcome all the way from the blue state of New York. It's the effervescent Charles Galusky.
Hey,
welcome, Charles.
Everybody in the chat.
Howdy, and
duty.
How is the weather there?
Well, it wasn't bad today. It's just cool. If you're standing out in the sun, it wasn't bad. Then during the, as the day wore on, it got windy and colder.
Okay. Here it was beautiful, mostly sunny,
great,
and in the upper 70s today. So it was great. I was like, oh God, I wish I had a day off to go fishing. It would have been a perfect day for fishing. So, yep. So let's see. We got a few people in the chat. We got Captain Joe Merca, USA Drone Flyer. We got Joey Drone Shots. And we got Dominic Papa Sergio. Sounds like a pizzeria place.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's get this started. There is a former congressman from your state making, outrageous, libel and defamation. So
libel statements is Chuck Schumer?
No, it was the guy that pulled the fire alarm.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, Bowman. He was calling Elon Musk a thief, a Nazi, and just saying all this stuff. And so Musk tweeted on X saying, lawsuits inbound.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what are your thoughts about all this crazy rhetoric coming from Democrats? Just it's nuts.
Well, they know that there's finally people in place who can dismantle a lot of the nonsense that's been put together.
Right. And what's funny is, Bill Clinton actually cut, some of that waste. And Obama talked about doing all that. How come it was cool when they did it, but it's not cool Donald Trump is doing it?
Well, first off, Obama was just talking about it.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton, the amount that he saved wasn't that much,
right?
On a national scale,
right?
These guys are talking about massive sweeping cuts,
right.
Tens of thousands of people losing their jobs in an instant,
right? Mm-hmm.
Because they're employed by the federal government or were employed. I just saw about another. I forget where it's coming from, but like an additional 30,000 gone today or about to be gone.
Right.
And that's so. In other words, when it doesn't really matter, that's when they can woo 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 woo. But this is stuff that really matters.
Right. And it's not like these people are going to be destitute or anything. They've got skills. They can find a good job.
I mean, do they no, seriously, do they have skills, or is that why they're working for government?
You make a good point. Maybe they ought to go back to school and get a real degree, not one of these basket weaving degrees. I call them. That's what I call. Like gender studies and women's studies, and they were just starting to do that crap when I was going to college back in the early to mid 80s. And I'm like, oh God. And it was all I could do to avoid taking those classes because I only needed, to take the courses that were required, like you needed humanities, social studies, science, and in my case, business. So, I didn't really go into some of those really weird classes. The weirdest class, well, not really weird, but the most different. And I was interested in those classes, like jewelry making. I learned how to do metal casting and fabrication. And I took photography. I took what was it, 4 sections, and I did really well up until the advanced photography, and I just totally sucked at that. Yeah. So I got my degree in marketing, and what did I do? I became, a comedian. I decided, hey, let's give that a shot and see what happens. And I got this degree to follow. And by the way, it came in handy with the work. I had to promote myself to clubs and booking agencies around the country. So I had to build up what is like a portfolio, so to speak, a resume of clubs that I worked, people I worked with, and the different levels of skill that I worked. And I had promotional material from all these they had these. Oh, they had this one magazine called Just for Laughs. It was like a little newspaper, and it had articles in back. It had a list of, hey, who's playing where around the country, and anything that had my name in it, I cut out and put into my promotional pack, and of course, a videotape. A short videotape to send to, these booking agents. And so got a lot of work that way. Some of the work that I got, which is really weird, is some comedian friends of mine will be at this booking agency's office or at the club, and they'll see my promo pack on the desk. And they'll say, book this guy, he's fun. And that's how I got some of my work, which was really good. So got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of people that were no names that are stars now. And it was quite an experience. And I got to travel to places I've never dreamed that I would go to, like Aruba and Japan and South Korea, Canada. So that's my short little snippet about me going to school and how I used my degree. And getting back to the topic of these people libeling people, it's I mean, it's really gotten ridiculous. I mean, when I was a young lad back in the 70s and 80s, you didn't hear stuff like that. You know,
Oh yeah,
making these outrageous
because
claims.
we all really remembered what real Nazis were.
Yeah, right. And I think it's changed to where the Democrat Party or, the left really looks down on anybody that doesn't have their point of view. They think we're fucking evil. And that's crazy. I never thought of Democrats as evil. I always thought, I think their ideas are dumb. I never thought of them as evil people. I think they're stupid, but it just, that wasn't my mindset, and how this all just evolved into, two different points of views trying to get stuff done in their mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
Until now, it's like, oh boy, oh you're screwed up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. Yeah. And your thoughts about that?
Well, I have to agree. Yeah, it is, ridiculous. It's just kept on, escalating here over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever
Right.
people didn't, just fall right into lockstep with what they wanted.
Uh-huh. And Donald Trump, he was a Democrat for a long time.
I think that's one of the reasons I think he saw this coming, and one of the reasons why he bailed on the Democratic Party.
Right. Yeah, and I think he saw that how far left and dangerous they were to business. And because that was his livelihood, was, real estate and sales, and leftist ideology just does not fit with that. And, it just, okay. Cool Cats got some good points. Yep. Cultural communism. Yep. Mm-hmm. And on a similar topic, so we got a congresswoman from Dallas, Jasmine Crockett, who, it's weird. You hear her at some speeches, she talks like a black person. She's got that cadence, like y'all,
the Southern.
And then when you hear her in interviews before she was a congresswoman, she talks like a normal person. And now she's making fun of a person's disability. Calling Governor Abbott Hotwheels. The guy was paralyzed in an accident and has to use a wheelchair. Calling him Hot Wheels. I mean,
I heard she called him that, but because I've never seen him, I've never seen a picture of him, don't know anything about him. I didn't know what the big deal was.
Yeah.
I just heard about that last night.
Right. And she referred to me. Yeah, he's Hot Wheels and his ideas are hot mess. It's hot. And it's like, and now she's the one that has armed guards around her, where she's the one talking about Oh, and then she also made a speech where, well, my birthday's coming up on March 29th, and I'd like to see Elon Musk be taken down. What? What the hell? I mean, and she's the one making threats, and she's got a bodyguard, an armed guard around her. It's like, what the hell is that? So, boy, you're lively tonight, aren't you?
Well, it just, I don't even know what to say. I can't call it hypocrisy, and I don't, because it's not quite hypocrisy,
right?
But I don't even know what term to use,
right?
You know, about that. It's something. It's something beyond, and but yet not quite hypocritical.
Right. Yeah. So basically, it just comes down to how hysterical the left has got, you know, and some of the wild accusations and rhetoric that they're spewing night after night after night, and it's like, man, you make it sound like we're the bad guys. We just disagree with you. We don't hate you. We don't think you're evil. But you know, I'm starting to become really concerned about the way this. I mean, this is really starting to look like early 30s Germany and Italy, you know, where those people were doing the same damn thing and they were destroying property as well, which is what they're doing with Tesla dealerships. Oh, I just saw a video yesterday. There's a guy wearing Lilo and Stitch pajama bottoms keying a Tesla.
Was this that old guy?
No, he didn't look that old. He looked like he was in maybe his 30s or maybe 40s.
I didn't see that one. The one I've seen is this one where some older guy, with, white hair and a beard, keys a Tesla or something, and then somehow his identity is tracked. He's tracked down, and some random person with a cell phone confronts him about it, like sometime afterwards. And the guy tries to deny that he did anything. He won't talk to the person on camera and yada yada. But you know, these Tesla cars have this Sentinel mode where once you activate that, it just records everything that happens all around.
Right. This one was, you could see this guy walking along and he's got these Lilo and Stitch pajama bottoms, and you see him with his hand out and he's keying the side of the Tesla. You know? And it's like full blown. You can see his face. You can and how people just get all unglued over an inanimate
inanimate, yeah, and it doesn't matter. I mean, these people promoted Tesla,
right?
You know, and it doesn't matter. So you key somebody's Tesla, you're not the only thing. You're most likely hurting another Democrat,
right? And Cool Cat makes a good point. Bud Light decided to hate women. Nobody burnt the factory down. Gets a job saving America. Yep. That's right. And I just wonder, will this ever end? I mean, will this escalate and keep going, or will somebody step in and say, knock it off, guys? You know, maybe somebody like Fetterman could come in and say, you know what, knock it off. You're making us look like jackasses, and we could be reasonable people. Let's just get back to our core and not get all, unhinged like this. And even if you have a Trump yard sign, people just come unglued about, or a MAGA hat. Did you see that video where this guy is being chased on the subway because he was wearing a MAGA hat on the train, and he got off the train? This woman was chasing him, and she tripped and fell flat on her face, and some guy right behind her, he putting his cell phone in her face to record everything. It's like, oh man, that was priceless. Yep.
No, I didn't see that one. No.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Cool Cat, yeah, that's true. There have been some right wingers sending bombs to abortion clinics. And you're right. It's on both sides, but just seems to be more prevalent on the extreme left. Yes. So,
and how long ago did that guy send those bombs? Was that quite a few years ago?
Yeah, this was probably 15, 20 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's going on. This weekend, we got our election for state party chair for GOP. And it looks like it's going to be another crap fest show. We got, the different sides, the establishment versus the hard right wingers, and I think no matter what's going to happen, the party is screwed, because no matter who's going to be the leader, nothing's going to get done. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to get elected. I mean, this last guy, he was such a knucklehead. Didn't hardly raise any money, broke a lot of bylaws by endorsing candidates, where party chair is not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to endorse any candidate. But they did, and about 90% of their pits lost. And so I'm just worried that, okay, say the other side wins, they'll raise a shit ton of money, but what'll happen is the other side will either stay home, not vote, for the candidate that won the primaries, or they'll fucking go vote for the libertarian just to fuck them over. Pardon my French. So that's my worry, And I'm watching bicker and fight on Facebook, and sometimes I want to say something. I go, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just gonna, I dropped out. I'm still a Republican. I'm still what is it? Not card carrying, but I'm still affiliated with them. I haven't changed registration. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I still haven't changed, and there have been a bunch of times where I was thinking of saying, fuck it, I'm going to be an unaffiliate and let the party shrink into nothingness. And I'm getting to a point where, the Democrats have such a lock on because of the district that I'm in. The Democrats control everything, and I'm like, it's a solid blue district. Why am I bothering to vote? You know, it's just pointless. You know, what I figure is,
Well,
let them fuck things up so badly to where people start fleeing the state, and the state goes to hell, just like California. And because in a few years, I'm not going to be in Colorado. I'm either going to move to another state, or I'm going to move out to the Philippines. You know?
well, you vote because you vote because you don't want to just be you don't want to feel like you've done nothing and let
Yeah,
people run roughshod. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, it
So
just, I don't know. I just feel so hopeless about it. And so, like, what? No, I want to show that.
show what?
Oh, I wanted to show this quote that cool cat. Ah, there we go. Lots of people end up politically homeless like me. The left, same in the UK, has made it impossible to get by. To be a labor supporter, you have to be either tribal, not paying attention, or stupid. Oh, good point. Good point. And I used to be really involved in the Republican Party. I used to go to the functions. I used to go to the caucus, the assemblies, and vote. My problem with these caucuses and assembly is that they are so friggin' slow. It's like, come on, we are in the 21st century. Let's stop dealing with paper. Let's just give everybody a tablet and go beep, boop, boop, beep, beep. There you go. It's done. And then a few seconds later, you know what the tally is. No, you gotta fill out a card and you have to listen to these people bloviate, and you already know what their positions are on a lot of things. They're not going to say anything earth shattering. So you hand the ballot over, and it's not a whole big list where you go through. No, you get different colored pieces of paper with the candidates on. You fill that out and you put it in the bucket. And then about a couple hours later, we find out who the hell won. And a lot of times it's miscounted because it's hand count. And it's like, oh, come on. And I think it's stuff like that keeps people from wanting to be involved in the party. When I go to my precinct caucus, where you get to decide, do I want to be a delegate or an alternate to the different assemblies? You got your county assembly, you got your congressional assembly, you got your state assembly, and it costs money. The higher up you go, the more it's going to cost. Where it's something like $20 at the county assembly, and it might be $45 at the congressional. And then when you get up to state assembly, that's where the big shit happens. That's where you get up to see all the statewide candidates run, and all the congressional candidates, and that's close to $100 now. And you just sit there and listen to these people just bloviating, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how about put a timer on these people? Keep it to 5 minutes and just move it along. And it's like, oh, good God. And then they keep moving the state assembly. Well, they move it around, mostly up and down the Front Range, but I think once in a while they'll have it on the West Slope, like in Grand Junction. But that's a far drive from me. But if you got people from the West Slope, they got to drive all the way the hell out here to go to the assembly. I mean, those people I commend, because they'll drive the extra mile just to go to this and vote. And then if you're an alternate, say the delegate doesn't show up or something happens, then you get moved up to vote in that person's place, which is cool. I think that's only happened to me once. I think it was at the either congressional or county assembly. But yeah. And then if you run as go as a delegate, it's cheaper that way. It's like half of what the price of being a full delegate. Yeah. And that's about it. So that's how it works here in Colorado. I don't know if it's similar in your state. You're probably not that.
No, I've never gotten involved with politics like that here. I don't know what the deal is to be a delegate or delegate or representative.
Right. Well, you ought to do it just to see what it's like. And I think in each state it's a little different. And imagine Nebraska, which I think they have a unicameral system.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an upper or lower house. It's all just one. So that's kind of interesting. I think they're the only state that does it that way. Yeah. So we got Uncle Bill, Bill Sloyds, and then we got Brian, Waypoint, New England, Michael, Cool Cat, and Mudball Don. So we got a good crowd so far. Bill, we're down to 2 Gimps because Lloyd's not feeling good. So hopefully he'll be back to his usual self and ready for his trip to Florida. So Lloyd, get well soon.
Yeah.
We're thinking about you. So what else is going on? Anything going on? I haven't heard anything about what's going on at The Hague with the Duterte's trial. So, Bill, if you would like, I will send you a link if you'd like to join us. I'll send you.
I don't know if this is good news or not, but apparently Elise Stefanik has been pulled from being a diplomat, and she's going to stay being a representative here in New York.
Oh my!
Now, sadly, she's no longer my representative. Sometime last year that got changed. And she's no longer my representative.
Yeah, they probably. Hold on a second.
Yeah. But anyways, what I was really concerned with is that they were screwing around with putting up a new election for her. They're supposed to put up one right away. And Kathy Hochul said, no, we're not going to go through the extra expense. We're going to wait until the regular voting until November. I thought they're just there. And although I don't know how they were going to, I don't know how they could do it.
Right.
I'm like, no, these guys are just messing around to try and figure out how how to get a Democrat in there.
Right. Yeah.
But now that she's going to stay,
okay.
that's
So
better. I don't know. I mean, that's good news from that respect. I don't know if it's good news for the drone community or not.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So yeah. So nothing going on. Oh, they're still flying gang members back to El Salvador.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna be doing that for a while.
Yeah. So that's great that they're doing something about that. Boy. And so that's still going. Yeah, so we got representatives, former and current, that are libeling Elon Musk. And so it's funny how they think, oh, it's outrageous, they're stealing. No, they're not stealing money. They're just giving money back to the citizens, instead of taking all this money and basically throw it out the back of a truck kind of money. That's basically what they're doing. Why not have that money go to something that'll do some good, or give it back to the citizen where they could either buy a new uh, item, like a refrigerator, car, pay down their credit cards, and that's not inflationary, because that's
No.
money that's already spent that hasn't been allocated.
Well, it's not like they're just handing out money that's been borrowed. That's the idea.
Right. Yeah.
It's money that's already in the system and going to be coming back in the form of a tax break or a rebate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I watched slash listened to a video by a guy who seems to be very knowledgeable about money and stocks and things like that. And he makes things accessible to everyone.
Right.
So whenever I see he's got a topic that looks good, I listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this is going to work, well, first off, this whole idea about, every taxpayer getting like $5,000 back.
Yeah.
That is not gonna fly. There's simply not enough money being found in the system for that. If that kind of thing does happen, it's probably going to be more like 500 rather than 5,000.
Okay, good point.
But still, getting $500 back, you could buy a nice used computer. You could, there's all kinds of stuff you could do with that would go back into the economy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, and now we're finding out about a lot of this money is going to Democrat friends, like Chelsea Clinton. She was getting money from the USAID. I'm like, oh, what? What the hell is she getting that money for? Yeah. And it's not just Chelsea Clinton, it's a bunch of other Democrats that are getting some of that money. It's almost like getting a kickback for something.
Yeah. And of course, billions of the dollars. Oh, how did this cycle go? Billions of the dollars that we gave to Ukraine.
Right.
somehow came back into the country to this guy. I can't remember his name. I can see his face clear as day, but I can't remember his name. But he owned some sort. He had something to do with Bitcoin, I think. Well, not the actual Bitcoin coin, but Bitcoin is in it as a generic sort of commodity.
Right.
And when he got that money from Ukraine investment or something like that, then he was turning around and giving it to the Democratic Party. To the tune of billions of dollars.
Wow. That wasn't that guy that was on trial for fraud, that Sam.
It may have been. Guy had really thick curly hair.
Yes, that's him. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I mean that whole cycle is. I mean the whole cycle is just ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. I think Musk is uncovering a lot of this shenanigans that the Democrats are making themselves rich off of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than, being a legislature, actually reading the bills that they're passing, Huh. So
we're actually doing the job, doing the work.
Yep. And who else? Oh, Snow White bombed at the box office.
Oh yeah, like who couldn't have seen that coming from a mile away?
Yep. And well, when you have your lead star bashing the movie or bashing the storyline and being a supporter of Hamas, that might piss off a bunch of people,
Yeah, and then the fans, the people who actually would have gone to see the movie,
right,
are people that she's insulted,
right,
people that she's wished awful things upon,
right. And then I found out one of my friends, Marty Kleba, little person, was one of the dwarves. Go figure that, a dwarf playing a dwarf, yeah. And so I saw one of his videos on Facebook where he was really trying to push people to go see this movie. And it's like, Marty, that Rachel Ziegler just kind of, tanked the whole movie by being an a-hole. And the more she talks, the more she's unlikable. So she may have ended her acting career doing that shit.
Well, I don't think so, because I mean, she's probably going to go off and do Broadway shows and stuff like that if she keeps her mouth shut from here on in. She's had some really, she came out with this weepy video where she's like, and I don't remember the verbatim, but she's saying, everybody hates her when she wins. Well, you haven't won here. You haven't won anything here. And you've just tried, you've essentially been a menace to society.
Society.
A menace to this movie, a menace to your own career.
Right. And so that tanked. What else is going on? Boy, it's kind of a slow political.
Well, like I alluded to earlier, 20,000 people between the CDC, FDA, and the HHS, 20,000 or 30,000 were fired. And NPR, as people in Congress are holding NPR holding their feet to the fire over things that they've said.
Right. Yeah, there's another radio station that just needs to go away. That doesn't need public funding. You know, if you're going to be
that's sad, because I used to really enjoy listening to public radio, because that was the only place I could listen to classical music.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And the problem is they've gone so far to the left that they've, really killed the goose that laid the golden egg. Ronnie Lloyd is not feeling well. That's why he's not here. Hopefully he gets well soon so he could be at Spin Up next week. Not Spin Up. South Florida Drone Meetup. Yeah. I mean, it sounds similar. Spin Up, South Florida Drone Meetup, kind of flows that way, but they're different. One is in Texas, one is in Florida. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Well, we got baseball starting tomorrow. Baseball season starting, and that's what's going on. So, boy, I don't know. I haven't been excited about baseball in years. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, and stuff that I used to be crazy about, I'm like, eh.
Well, is there really anything to get excited about?
Right. Football, I'm still jazzed about that. Hockey, I really like hockey. I just wish they'd have more of it on TV that I could watch, but it's on all the cable stuff, and I'd have to pay for it to watch it. I remember when baseball used to be on one of the local channels. When I lived in Detroit, it was Channel 2, WKBD, I think it was, or WJBK, something. Anyway, they would carry all the Tiger games, the afternoon games and the evening games, and I'd watch them, and they had a great announcer, Ernie Harwell, and sadly, all those have gone to, pay-per-view, just about. Here in Denver, we've got Altitude Channel that carries the Nuggets and the Avalanche. Sort of interested in basketball because the Nuggets won the championship a couple years ago, and they still have a really good team. They've got a player that's setting records right and left, and won the MVP for the third straight year. Yeah. What else? Oh, Colorado just put passed another anti-gun legislation. Basically says, and it's really screwy. It's like they don't even care about the Second Amendment. If it violates it, let's pass it anyway. And we'll see if our governor turns it into law. I mean, he could sit there and do nothing, and then it becomes law, or he could sign it, or he could veto it. And then it's sent back to committee, and they hash it out. And so that's what's happening. Egg prices have come down. Well, gas had been coming down, and all of a sudden it's back up over $3 a gallon now. And I've been getting gas as low as $2.53 a gallon. And all of a sudden this week, I can't find anything under $2.99. Maybe I could find a place that has it for $2.75. That's
Well, isn't that sort of the reaction from our attack on the Houthis?
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I mean, that was the part of what was released from this from that reporter being added to that secure government chat.
Right. And there was another thing that just came up. They're making it sound like it's this whole big scandal. And it's like, no, somebody down low either intentionally or unintentionally added this reporter to this Signal app. And
Right.
that person's going to be gone, at least fired, if not prosecuted after this. So
let me see if I can find it. Looking for something here.
yep. Ronnie said got down to 248 and jumped up 299 yesterday. Yeah, that's almost a 50-cent change. Now it's down to 284. Yep, that's right. There's huge fluctuations. Yep.
I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it on this. One of my Facebook friends posted something that Laura Loomer discovered.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the guy in the chat that added the reporter to the chat is some Asian senator or somebody who worked under Obama, and his wife worked under Obama.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I wonder if my Facebook connection deleted the post because I'm looking through. Oh, here it is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alex, I'm going to read you the post. Alex Wong added Jeffrey Goldberg to the Signal chat. I'm going to be paraphrasing here because there's a lot. And, Alex Wong is Mike Walz's national security advisor. Mike Walz.
Wong and Walz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex Wong, the Chinese deputy national security advisor, is married to U.S. Attorney Candace Chu Wong, a Chinese woman who's one of the key attorneys involved in prosecuting J6ers.
So
Alex's wife worked.
make it right.
Yep. Alex's wife worked under the Obama administration and the Biden administration as United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, where she led the Violence Reduction and Trafficking Offenses section for more than 2 years. She was involved in the prosecution of many J6ers during the Biden regime, under which she was nominated to become a member of the United States Sentencing Commission. Additionally, she served as a law clerk to the Obama-appointed Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She also worked for Covington and Burling, which is one of the law firms that President Trump recently stripped of its security clearance and terminated all of their government contracts. Trump accused Covington of being involved in the weaponization of government. So now this is a speculation thing, but the post goes on. given the Chinese connections, it really makes you wonder if Jeffrey Goldberg was added to the Trump signal chat on purpose as part of a foreign op to embarrass the Trump administration on behalf of China. Well, I don't know. I mean, that could have happened, but I mean, these people are so far buried in the left. I can just see them as just saying, "Oh, we're going to do this to embarrass Trump ourselves," having nothing to do with any direction from China. Apparently, also Goldberg said a war plan was released that contained precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing. Apparently, that was a lie because the stuff that he released and the stuff that actually got put out there was no actual war plan. There were no names, no specific targets or locations, no coordinates. It just says that some F-18s will strike a terrorist somewhere.
Okay.
But it was that Alex Wong guy that added that Goldberg guy to the chat. So, I mean, so it's not like, there's not like the Trump administration had bad security or anything like that.
Right.
There's just one mole in there who did this whole thing on purpose.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Nothing going on in the South China Sea. Nothing going on in Taiwan. So, got a few more minutes. And so I'm hoping that I could go to South Florida drone meetup next year. It all depends on how things go. Right now, I'm having a little mini crisis with my apartment. We've got a bed bug problem here. So I saw one this morning. I go, okay, that's it. I grabbed I had a Hudson Bay blanket, a wool blanket on, and I go, my sister's gonna have her pick it up and throw it in the dryer for about on high heat, and I'll kill them all. And then and she took the blanket cover too. So tomorrow I'm going to take the mattress pad over and have her wash it along with my sheets and my regular clothing. So when I emailed the management about what I saw, evidently they came over this morning. My bed was all torn apart where the mattress or the bod spring was up on the wall, leaning up against the wall, and they had the mattress next to my dresser. But fortunately for me, they're working on the apartment down the hall where they tore up the carpeting and the padding, and oh God, the place was a mess. So I pulled one of those guys, and he helped me put my bod spring back and the mattress back. So, yeah, right, Bill. The second time this happened, because we had a tenant that was a pack rat and was just not, well, let's see, wasn't taking his garbage out every week. So he was, got really bad. And so when one apartment gets it, they start fleeing to the other apartments. And so what they did last time is they put these heater blowers that turn the temperature up over 100 degrees, and it kills bugs. So they did that, and then they put some bug stuff around the bottom of the floorboards along the wall and around the bed, and never had a problem. Yep.
Cool.
So when I saw that one today, I go, oh God, because we were supposed to have a guy come in the building, and we weren't supposed to go in from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they were going to, I guess, fumigate the building. So it looks like that's on. There was miscommunication. That's next week. Shit. So maybe, well, I'll find out tomorrow if they found anything, from the maintenance that came in today. So my sister came, picked up my wool blanket, my bed cover, and I'll take the rest of my laundry over tomorrow. And then I'm working on Saturday again. So, which is good thing because we were supposed to get a raise on our last paycheck and it didn't show up there. So it's going to be on the next paycheck and retroactive pay to the previous week. So, which will be a nice big fat check.
Cool.
Alrighty, so we managed to blow an hour. Hopefully we covered a bunch of stuff. Some interesting stuff. So I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. Bill, always good to see you. Ronnie, Joel, Don, who else? Oh, Michael, and Charles, and Dominic. Thanks for coming. You all have a great week. Come over to my regular channel, my drone channel, Art Code Drones and Entertainment, tomorrow night, but it's an hour early from 5 to 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So adjust to your time zone accordingly. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Good night, folks.